Hello everyone and welcome to today's video segment of reading recommendations. My name is Kim Christopher. I'm a reference librarian for the Haverford Township Free Library, and I have a few suggestions today as reading recommendations. First, I have here Animal Vegetable Junk, A History of Food from Sustainable to Suicidal by Mark Bittman. And this is a book that you could say is about the argument or debate over the dark and negative side to agriculture food. And this isn't a new argument, as he shows. It's been going on for a while now. But with the book, he lays down all the arguments and thoughts about the downsides to agriculture and presents the evidence to support them and leaves it to you as you're reading to sort of debate and mull over these arguments if it's actually true. And all the evidence he presents is well researched, well written, and it shows you really in a way that perhaps it is true that humanity's drive for food, to eat things, has led to the rise of the modern world as we know it, but at the same time, it's also led to many of the problems that we now face today, like famine, resource depletion, inequality among the people. There's so many subjects that he covers in the book. I can't cover them all in the time that I have here, but yeah, as a result, it's just extremely riveting read. You can't put it down, and I would highly recommend this, particularly if you're looking for a book that that makes you debate and think about everything in this book. And well, to say the least, after having read it, I believe every single word he talked about in here, all the arguments and everything. And so yeah, I would highly recommend this as a nonfiction read. And the second recommendation I have here today is Resident Alien by Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse. And this is a really wonderful graphic novel sci-fi mystery story that I recommend reading, where the story itself, it follows an alien who's crash landed on Earth, and with no way of home, he disguises himself as a human doctor in a small town away from civilization and prying eyes. But unfortunately, one day, a murder takes place in the town, and in order to avoid any suspicion, he must investigate the murder as well as other crimes that follow in order to maintain his illusion of being human. But unfortunately, unknown to him, the U.S. government knows of his existence and is now on the hunt for him and will stop at nothing to get their hands on him and any technology he could give them, that is. But yeah, this is a really wonderful graphic novel read in regards to how Hogan and Parkhouse, they beautifully combine two genres together, mystery and science fiction again, to create this engrossing story where it feels like you're watching an episode of Columbo or The X-Files, watching the alien Harry in his human disguise investigate all these crimes, and watching government agents hunt down for him. It has everything you want from a science fiction story as well as great mysteries, and so yeah, I would highly recommend reading this if you're a fan of science fiction and mystery stories, but also if you want to see how two genres can be combined together in just a really wonderful, coherent manner. And then finally here today I have Bill Gates' How to Avoid a Climate Disaster, the solutions we have and breakthroughs we need. And this is a really good book that's food for thought, where Bill Gates, although the book is about, presenting solutions to climate change, the information he provides about the things that have led to climate change in the modern day world, they give you pause to think about things you never would have thought are contributing to our climate change. For instance, how creating cement and steel, the byproduct of it is carbon, which is released into the air, and we haven't found a solution or a way to trap the carbon instead so it isn't released into the atmosphere and contributing to the increasing temperatures. Or how electricity for things like our air conditioners, your phone, or your TV, all that stuff, it's powered by cheap energy that could be better but isn't, and the cheap energy is contributing as well to the climate change. And it's a very eye-opening and captivating read as a result of all the things he talks about in terms of climate change. I would highly recommend reading it as a result if you wanted to know something even just a little bit about climate change and what has led to the current situation with our environment, and not so much for the solutions he offers, as some of them seem a bit outlandish at times, where he suggests like replacing all the cars, and I mean all the cars in the world, with electric ones or other sustainable vehicles, and he suggests that, but he doesn't suggest how we go about doing that in terms of who's going to pay me or you to replace your own car with an electric one, who's going to pay the people in an entire nation to replace all their cars with electric ones. Yeah, some of his solutions seem very good, but outlandish and impossible, and he doesn't offer you a solution of how to go about doing it. But yeah, so either way, I would highly recommend just reading his book to understand something about the climate change in the world. It's an enlightening read as a result of that. And that's all I have today for reading recommendations. And until we see each other again in another reading recommendation video, please do check our library website as well as the flyers we have about for all the updates on the programs we have other than this reading recommendation video series, as well as updates on the outdoor programs that we now do have going on. And until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone, and take care.